The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Andy Brownell on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM, along with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Good morning, Robin.
Well, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, at least it's not snowing today. Yesterday, my poor husband on his birthday woke up and said, well, thank you, Mother Nature, for this lovely snow for a birthday gift in the middle of October.
It didn't accumulate where you're at.
We had white rugs on the deck, and that was about it.
Yeah. Up where my daughter is, they had nearly 2 inches.
Oh, my gosh. That's not good.
Not this early in the year, yeah.
No, that is not good.
I'm sure it will melt away this weekend, but...
Well, maybe. It's not warm out. It's a nice day for open houses, so at the end of the show, I'll talk about the open houses that we have. And I know the last couple of weekends have been kind of slow at the open houses, and the sellers are like, what's going on? And I said, well, you know what? We had some pretty warm October weekends there. So people were thinking, one last hurrah. They were walking around Wabasha looking at Septoberfest stuff, and they were taking their trip to the apple orchard or the pumpkin patch or whatever it was. But today they'll be at open houses. I can predict it.
I believe you're right, because it's exactly what I was doing last weekend. This could be it. This could be the end of it.
Yep. And it probably was. Oh, well.
Yeah. We live here for a reason.
And you have noticed I have been taking so many beautiful fall pictures this year. Oh, my gosh, the colors have been great.
Yeah, they have been great. I think it was because we had adequate water this year.
Yes, exactly. I was literally selling a house yesterday, and the people, I think one of the reasons they bought it was because the street was lined with the most beautiful trees. They're like, oh, we would love driving home to this every day. I'm like, well, every day for 2 weeks. Or
if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But anyway, it was gorgeous.
Were they like red maples or something like that?
Red maples. Yeah. And then they have whatever the ones that get bright orange or mixed in. Oh, my gosh. So pretty.
Yeah. You know, me, I'm a summer person, and most of the people I know are most people really love autumn. And I always have to point them out. That only lasts like a week or two, right?
It's a precursor. It is a precursor to winter, period. Exactly.
You and I are on the same page.
You got it.
This is just pre-winter.
So speaking of fall, why don't I start with this little tidbit? I have an article here that says, what are experts saying about fall housing market? Okay. So, I like to consider myself a local expert. This is on a much broader horizon. And it says that the housing market is rapidly changing from the peak frenzy it saw over the past 2 years. So probably there are many questions about what the best move is, right? To help make a confident decision, lean on the professionals for insights. So here are a few things that experts have to say. A recent article from Realtor.com. This fall, a more moderate pace of home selling, more listings to choose from, and softening price growth will provide some breathing room for buyers who are searching for a home during what is typically the best time to buy a home. Okay, so that is exactly what I've been saying.
It is, exactly.
And Michael Lane, VP and General Manager from Showing Time, says buyers will continue to see less competition for homes, have more time to tour homes, and consider their options. Yep, I've covered that. Expert from the Office of the Chief Economist of CoreLogic says record equity continues to provide fuel for housing demand, particularly if households are relocating to more affordable areas. We've covered record equity for sure. And Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, says, for homeowners deciding whether to make a move this year, remember that listing prices, while lower than a few months ago, remain higher than in prior years. So you're still lucky to find opportunities to cash in on record high levels of equity, particularly if you've owned your home for a longer period of time. So, bottom line, mortgage rates, home prices, and the supply of homes for sale are top of mind for buyers and sellers. And if you want the latest information, I guess I've got the answers, because those are all the same things I've been saying. So our market's really not that different than the market nationwide.
So you need to become one of these national experts and have people ask you these questions.
In my spare time.
And wait a minute, I do ask you these questions.
Yeah, there you go.
So
if I'm being interviewed by Andy Brownell, I mean, how much bigger does it get?
A lot.
Come on, don't squash my dreams here.
But what you're describing is a person who potentially could take care of this, look at this market, and the interest rates really don't matter to them because of the amount of equity that they have available to purchase their next home.
Correct. And again, the interest rate is going to be short term. We're going to marry the house, but date the rate. So when a better rate comes along, we're going to dump the one we've got and take the better one. So that's the glory of refinancing. That's the glory of the adjustable rate mortgages. You know, that's the glory of learning about what's out there and available in additional to just a 30-year conventional loan.
You know, I think we refinanced 3 times.
Yeah.
At least 3, maybe 4.
I'm sure we did too.
Got to roll the rates when they slid down.
Yep, that's right. All right, so I'm glad that you said that, because I have another article here. You know, it's easy to find the ones that are pretty gloom and doom. I'll start with this one. National Association of Realtors. Decade-high rates deeply cut into contract signings. So, pending home sales are posting annual losses in the double digits as home buyers continue to back away from the market due to surging mortgage rates. Okay, but double digits down from double digits over anything we've ever seen means we're back to a normal housing market. So, I really do like people to read the entire article when they see these headlines.
And this goes back to what you and I talked about last week, that realtors who have not seen this market before, their perception of it would be that doom and gloom.
Right.
Rather than only a few years. You know,
they're scared to death. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this is, I think, what you should focus on. So I've many times I've talked about this guy that works for Realtor.com. This Yun is his name, okay? And he says that Yun does not foresee slower price appreciation ahead for 2023, and he says home sales will definitely bounce back. Next year, the annual median home price is expected to rise only by 1.2%. So that's slower than what we'd seen prior to the pandemic. But really, the average, the normal over my 22 years was probably, I would tell people to expect their home to increase in value by 3%, maybe 5% year over year if things were really good. So when we got into that 18%, excuse me, sorry about that. When we got into that 18%, 25%, you know, that was just crazy stuff and clearly could not keep up. So even though we do see sales, you know, contracts slowing down, backing off, we can't think about it as going back, you know, going into the negative. We have to think about it as going back to where we were before it went crazy.
Yeah. It was an anomaly, as we have said before.
Right.
Okay, we do have to take a break already, Robin.
Already.
That's That's amazing how fast that went. We'll be back in just a moment with more Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM at 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. It's Saturday morning. Robin, I think I cut you off in mid-sentence or close to it.
Oh, it's all right.
To take the break.
Mid-thought. But, yeah, just talking about, like, what's going on out there on the national, in the national market for real estate. And, of course, you know, the bigger you are, the harder you fall kind of thing.
Right.
So those places like Phoenix and Tampa, Florida, and Las Vegas, where their prices had just gone up at unrealistic. I mean, I think I have said this on the air that our broker owner bought a home in Arizona. He owned it 1 year, and he sold it for 35% more than he paid for it.
Wow.
And all he did was upgrade one bathroom. So, yeah, it was crazy how those things were going. But anyway, canceled contracts. You're going to find this interesting, I think. In the month of September, canceled contracts were up by 20% over what they were last year. Last year, the only reason somebody would cancel is if they realized they were paying way over and got cold feet right at the last minute. But now we have 20% more people are canceling their contracts in those areas. Just so happens to be the same areas where they've seen the largest uptick in sales prices. So people are definitely realizing that, whoa, what is going on here and what's going to happen in the future, and maybe I can back off and just see if things level out, and they will.
So in those canceled contract cases, those people are giving up their earnest money.
Sometimes. It just depends on, you know, if they did write it. Now, like now, we're back to seeing a lot of offers written contingent on inspection. That also varies state by state. You know, we've talked about in Minnesota, if you buy a property contingent upon an inspection and then you just have a change of heart, you can actually use that inspection period as a time to just cancel and not lose your earnest money. I don't think it's the nicest thing to do. I don't think it's the most ethical thing to do, but it's 100% legal thing to do. Okay? But if you're in a state such as Wisconsin, you do the inspection and then you have to identify what are the issues that would make you want to walk away. And if the sellers determine that we're willing to take care of those issues, then you move forward.
Ah.
So each state, you know, has just a little bit different.
Sure.
And you know, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert in each state, but I learn a lot when I go to these conferences and I meet with agents. Some states, Massachusetts is one of them, realtors can't even write purchase agreements. They have to be written by an attorney.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I'm thinking, well, what in the world? That is some crazy stuff. What do? You know, you just go show the houses. But, yeah, they have to have attorneys write the contracts. So, you know, it's just different from state to state, but it's fun to learn about the variations. And, of course, we don't use escrow here, and they do in a lot of states. And with escrow, you can lose you're never really locked in until the minute you close. Whereas here, once all of the contingencies have been removed and the contract is changed to pending, it's as good as yours, right?
Okay.
So
the thing in Massachusetts had me wondering. I wonder if Massachusetts has the highest per capita lawyer rate in the nation.
Maybe. It could be. It could very well could be. Well, I think there were other states too, but it's not a lot. But there are other states too that have to have attorneys write the offers. So it's just interesting.
It is. The thought I had about this, though, with the interest rates and what's happening in some of these markets, is that I think we're still going through the shock period for people, although it's probably lessening now. But at some point, even with the rates elevated, people are going to come to their senses and look at what they're paying each month in rent versus what they could be doing even with the higher interest rates.
Exactly.
Paying a mortgage and go, well, it doesn't matter. We'll still go ahead and do this.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because
As a matter of fact,
if I could make that decision when interest rates were at 9.5% and it still made total and complete financial sense to go into the home purchase at that point.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And so it's all about your perspective. You know, listen, I literally have an article for today's show that is titled Perspective Matters When Buying and Selling Houses Today, right? So it's like you have to take all of those facts into consideration. And that's why it's so important to have somebody that has the experience to guide you, especially if you're a home seller or a home buyer that hasn't done this in a while, or maybe hasn't ever done this, or certainly hasn't done it in this market. Then I think it's just really important to be working with somebody who has, so that it can be less stressful and, you know, and just easier to navigate through and doable. Get it done, right?
Yes. 100% in agreement.
So even though we have, you know, people backing off because of the interest rates being higher and the contract numbers are down, we still have a historically low supply of homes.
It persists.
It does. So inventory, the weekend of last week compared to the last 3 years, we are actually down by 1.1%, which means we have 40% fewer homes than what we need on the market.
Wow.
I mean, we need houses, okay? So people, and it's because of what you just got done saying. Overall, people understand that renting is great for a short-term situation, but the longer people do it, the more money they're just tossing out the window.
Yeah.
So they realize that the ultimate end game is to be owning a home. And for that to happen, we just need a lot more homes available.
And I don't see a remedy to that in the near horizon, at least.
No, exactly.
So in other words, what you've been saying all along, the stability in value will continue, and we'll see increases, although not as fast as what we saw during the crazy times.
And this Lawrence Yun, who seems, you know, I've been following him very closely, the chief economist from National Association of Realtors, he seems to really be right on the money with his predictions. And he's saying that, yeah, we're going to see prices increase. They're going to continue to increase, but at a slower pace than they have, you know, for the last several years. But come 2023, we're going to see that increase start to pick up again and sales start to pick up again. So no big crisis here, nothing to worry about. It's all going to work out. I promise, I promise, I promise.
And actually, what you're describing is a potential opportunity for people, especially if you think in terms of refinancing once the rates drop.
Right. So those rates have dipped a little. They're down to 6.65, but that is still double from a year ago. So that's what's freaking people out. But a year ago, they were getting crazy, crazy cheap money. I don't know how many times you heard me say, if you went back through recordings, I don't know how many times you heard me say, this is free money, people. I mean, free money. People were refinancing. I was one of them for 2.0. 2.0.
Yeah, I still can't comprehend that.
It's just crazy.
And I still can't comprehend the rate that my son locked in on.
Yes.
On a 30-year mortgage. It was a no-brainer.
Right. Yeah, now you're just rubbing it into your poor daughter who locked in at a higher rate. That is not nice, Andy.
But not that much higher.
Good.
I mean, it was higher, but she was able to lock in, I think, around 5.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
I mean, trust me, I thought 5 would have been fantastic when we did our house. I mean,
exactly.
Goodness gracious. We have to take another break, though, so we'll do that really quick. Yeah, I know.
All right. Jeepers, creepers, the time's flying.
Back in a second or so with Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. We are back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. And by the sounds of it, you have quite a few listings you want to talk about.
Oh my gosh, we have so much inventory right now. And you know, that can be looked at as, oh, that means things are taking longer to sell. Yes, but it is also because people are believing me and they are believing that it's still okay to list your house and you're still going to get it sold. And that is what we intend to do. So I will use the remaining time to talk about some of the opportunities that we have, okay?
Okay, I'm all for it.
Awesome. So, 1923 Viking Drive. That's one of those Valhalla condos that have been around forever. Mm-hmm. Super cheap to get into those. We've got one that's $110,000. Okay?
Wow.
Yes. And over in Southeast Rochester, 1008 4th Street Southeast, we've got a little dollhouse, 3 beds, 1 bath, 1 car garage, 2099. We've got lots like crazy out in Sally Ridge that range anywhere from 240 to 400,000. So you can visit sallyhill.com, SALLEYHILL.com for the website for all the updates on what lots are out there. If you're not familiar with that subdivision, get familiar because it is an awesome subdivision. In Pine Island on Main Street, we've got an opportunity for commercial building. It is right there on Main Street, 119 South Main Street, $299,000. 316 6th Avenue Northwest, we've got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage house for $299. 102 26th Street Northwest, 4 beds, 3 baths, 2-car garage, $349. Wow. I'm telling you, whatever your price range is, we've got something for you. This one is a beauty. I don't understand why it hasn't sold yet, but I think it's going to be coming real soon. We just hit the 30-day mark, and that's kind of the average days on market now. But 365 Brookstone Drive Southeast, and this one is $399.9. It's 4 beds, 3 baths, 3-car garage. Better than new. This house is immaculate, but yet all the window treatments are done. The landscaping is done. I mean, it is nice. There's one, a new construction with an unfinished basement a block away that's listed at higher price. Okay? So that's a great deal. 4611 Canterbury Court, Northwest. 5 beds, 4 baths, 2-car garage, $439.9. 2268 Coral Court Northeast, 4 beds, 3 baths, 2-car garage. This one is 2,800 square feet. It's $452. We've got one at 111 7th Avenue Northwest Rochester. It's absolutely awesome. It's across the street from the old Lourdes High School downtown, so hop, skip, and a jump, as my dad used to say, away from the Mayo Clinic. And that one is listed at $479.9. Out on 2273 Phoenix Road Southwest, we've got a 5-bed, 4-bath, 3-car garage for $575. Also just a beauty in Hart Farms. 8821 Ridgecrest Drive Northwest. We've got a big 2-story, 5 beds, 5 baths, 3-car garage, and that one is 4,400 square feet for $759.9. We have 2710 Galena Place. Again, just like new, it was built in 2018, lived in by one person, kept just immaculate. And that one is 6 beds, 4 baths, 3-car garage for $964. And I think that just about, oh no, I have Kate's Lane, 3049 Kate's Lane Southwest for $995. And we did have a beauty that I've talked about the last few weeks out on 60th Avenue Southwest, and that one was literally just under $2 million. And we got that one sold this past week. So
nice.
Things are still moving. We do have some open houses today because remember at the beginning of the show, I said it's a great day for open houses. Do I have time, Andy?
You do have time.
Okay. So I personally will be at 8821 Ridgecrest Drive this morning from 10:30 until noon, and that's the big two-story that I talked about for $759.9 on a really nice 2-acre lot with lots of trees, pretty trees right now. Gene will be up on Coral Court hosting one of those very popular townhomes from 10 o'clock this morning until noon, and his is 452. And Bill is going to be a busy guy because he's going to be at 4611 Canterbury Court, 439 from 10 until 11:30, and then he's going to head out to Kate's Lane. So if you want to see that one, it's 3049 Kate's Lane, $9.95. He's going to be there from noon until 1:30. Of course, you can find all of this information on our website, which is gwaltneygroup.com. You can see pictures and get more information about all of those listings that I quickly mentioned. And certainly my phone number is there, but I'll give it to you. Okay. It's 507-259-4926. And of course, I'm always happy to answer any question that you might have.
Wow. That was
a mouthful.
You didn't take a breath. Well, that was great. Yes, it's nice to see that there are options out there for everybody to look at.
Yes, and it does take the stress and the pressure off of buying a house. It really does. And guess what? You can negotiate a little bit, which always feels good to the buyer. You can definitely have an inspection, and you can even ask the seller to take care of some items that come up. So it is a good time to buy a house.
It sounds normal. That's
normal.
Good.
Yes, much less stress, I promise you.
All right, Robin. Thank you so much again.
Yes.
I look forward to next week when we discuss Rochester real estate or Southern Minnesota real estate with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results. It's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Amazon Business honors Jill Lau, Chief Procurement Officer of Global Network Bank. Last week, Jill saved big and used Amazon Business to help her team buy 327 headsets. Now Bob can keep his conversations to himself.
Wait, am I still on speakerphone?
With business buying easier than before, Jill now uses her extra time to focus on growing something big. Buy smarter, dream bigger. Visit Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
Thank you for holding.
Hang it up, Bob.